Let's get it.
I love a provider.
Why would a woman ever be submissive for a man that's not providing for her?
Anybody can be a provider. I don't care if he works at McDonald's. If he works at McDonald's, sweetie, he can send you $200 a month.
Why would you be in a relationship with a Dusty who wants to go 50-50 when there are men out here who will pay all the bills?
Equal partner husband. Go to hell. You can also go to hell. You are my favorite.
Only be submissive for a provider. That is it. If you are not paying for all the bills and the household, you do not get to tell a woman what to do.
Oh my gosh, you too. What it do? It's your boy Benji, and we're back with the crew. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. Look, man, it's getting really crazy, yo. I don't know why they didn't give it a TikTok a long time ago, but look, I ain't gonna lie, I find good recipes up there. So, interestingly enough, there's this weird thing on TikTok where people are just galvanizing support from random people who are upset with relationships, and they do this thing where it makes people think. And you're able to gain support by just making people think. And what are they thinking about? They're thinking about that one time they may have a situation that kind of sounds something similar so they can try and be on your side, and then you're able to influence people's thought processes. This is insanity. If a man doesn't pay all your bills, he's not a man. Why would you as a woman stand for this? And I think like we gotta make a point of like really pointing out what this is. We getting all these dudes that talking crazy to these young men that are trying to build them up to do that, and the Red Pill and Andrew Tate and all these other guys. This is literally that type of content for women. This is like femcel content. This is crazy.
It's no secret that many women desire a provider man, but it raises an important question.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Are men being reduced to nothing more than wallets?
My favorite type of niggas are the ones where I don't even have to ask. They just say, how much do I need to send? And then send more than how much they love them. That's what.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You're a grown up. You have bills to pay. I would, yeah. Why would you not like that guy? Why wouldn't you?
What a man is supposed to do, in my opinion. Now, if that's not how you feel, that's completely okay. There are plenty of women out here on the earth who do not believe that a man's job in a relationship is to protect and provide. Go find one of them and do whatever it is that dummies do when they get together.
I always wanted to know, like, in these situations, what is a woman's job in a relationship?
Have to get these men invested, and that's y'all problem. If I dated a today that worked at McDonald's, best believe I'm taking, if his check was $1,200 a month, I'm taking at least $500.
In today's American economy, the idea of living off one man's income has become more of a fantasy than a reality. Times have changed since the industrial era, and some women still don't care.
I only date providers.
Date rich in 2025. If they're not rich, if they're not providing, if they're not generous, you don't go out with them.
Okay, like, we also have to come to, like, a sense of reality. I think a lot of these women's mental, they're misguided because I guess there's something in their vision in which they're all meeting these rich men. How are y'all all meeting these rich men when there are not that many rich men? And I say not that many. It's a loose term, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're not going to be in Idaho finding too many of them. Sure, if you're in a highly populated metropolitan area like, I don't know, Miami, Florida, there's a possibility you'll run into a couple guys who got some money. You might run into a lot of fakers or some guys who are ready to spend money because they know what they're going to get in terms of the end goal. But where y'all find these dudes?
You don't even have a phone conversation with them.
The only way a man is making you pay bills is if he's
Providers.
Date rich in 2025. If they're not rich, if they're not providing, if they're not generous, you don't go out with them. You don't even have a phone conversation with them.
The only way a man is making you pay bills is if he's broke or you're not his dream woman, because a man that has the money, a man that can do it is paying all of the bills.
Get a man's money and start a business. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Find a man who wants to give you money, stash it, save it, invest in yourself, start a business, and grow the money.
Now you might be wondering, how do these women...
Yeah, I mean, if y'all are meeting all these rich men and you're following those steps, why are all of y'all not now rich? Because at the end of the day, I look at it like a lot of these women could run the world. If it was so easy for them to just garner money from a man, and they're only going after rich men, and they're not giving it up, then only funnels down into one simple portion of the equation. They have to all be rich by proxy because you're dealing with only rich men. And all your bills are paid. So what are you doing with the money? What are you doing with your money?
Women get money from men. Like, what is their technique? Will they act like a damsel in distress?
The damsel will use some crisis to capture our attention. And she'll pull on our natural masculine energy to try to help her or save her or resolve her problem, whatever it might be.
The damsel in distress tactic can manifest in various ways. Here are a few examples.
In order to activate those masculine instincts in a man, you have to appear
TikTok is funny as heck. No way.
as the damsel in distress. If you're not comfortable doing that, then again, this video is not for you. This advice is not for you. But in order to get what you want from men, you do have to play up to their fantasy.
Go to him, sit him down, get sexy, look all dolled up, and be like, babe, I do not desire to work anymore, or I want to work less, or I don't want to pay this anymore. I can't pay this. Problem focus. Let it be his idea. Let him save you.
My main motto is closed mouths don't get fed. So like, if you're not asking, babe, he's never gonna know, okay?
Can't believe I almost ran out of gas on the way over here. I was scared. What do you mean you almost ran out of gas? Oh my gosh, yes. I almost ran out of gas. I didn't have, I don't get paid till like next week. Why are you gonna get home? I don't know. I was thinking that, maybe I could call my friend and she can come, help and pick me up or something. Oh, no. How much do you need?
But don't go and say, I'm thinking that I don't want to pay this bill, so I'm thinking you can pay this one and I can. Do not go in there with a solution. This is not your child. This is your man.
A real man will never get offended if you ask him for money because, like, real men know how to provide and know how to.
Real man. Throwing that out there. Yeah, and guys, that's part of the trick, too. They have, you got to throw that out there, too. Like, sprinkle that into the conversation because that real man's going, like, whatever else you're saying, it might go in and out one ear. But that real man, you're not a man, weak man, a real man, like that those little terms are gonna stick out in the conversation.
How to maintain a baddie, okay? If your man gets upset, babe, you might want to switch him out.
You have some bills to take care of this week. Maybe you didn't get paid. You really want to buy this really nice dress.
We're not talking about husbands. We are talking about like men that you're just dating, maybe even a boyfriend. But it seems like a lot of this information is pertaining to men you're just dating.
Your next date with him, you want to look good for him, but it's too expensive and you don't want to wait until it goes on sale. So, are you following?
Go in there with the problem and let him solve it and let him take credit for it. Hey. Remember that the way the male brain is wired, it's easier for them to stand behind something that was their idea. That is why men are always stealing our ideas and making it their own, because then they can stand behind it better. So let them do that. Who cares whose idea it was, as long as it happened?
Yeah. Women might have you believing that being a provider man is something to celebrate, but the reality often tells a different story. In many cases, it feels more like you're just paying for her to be around you, which is called a trick.
They've rebranded the word trick to mean provider.
Trick is providing?
If you look at what people look at as, oh, he's a provider, they really describing a trick. But they've rebranded it to where you have dudes who are proud.
Great, like just great packaging, great propaganda right there, literally. Like I said, this entire video has been people gaslighting you into believing that if you are not paying for her bills, you are not a real man. You are a broke man. You are not a wealthy man.
Tricks, and they go, no, I'm a provider.
Reverse psychology.
I see you a trick.
Yeah, okay.
But she's rebranded that words, power. The power in the word is like, she's rebranded it. So now you look at a man paying for everything as a good thing, and it's like, you really tricking.
Look, it ain't tricking if you have it, but how does it make sense for a man to cover all the bills while his wife works and keeps all her money to herself?
We both make a lot of money. I pay all the bills in the house.
Subtle flex.
Right, it's subtle flex. But because I did make a post, I said, I realized the greatest flex I could ever have is when my wife is kept, but she keeps making money. You see what I'm saying? As the leader, when we both make money, I take care of the family,
Oh my gosh, like, bro, that's all it is, bro. You're just playing to these dudes' egos. You hear this dude talking about something? As a provider, as a leader.
Care of our wealth planning, I take care of our legacy building. Whatever money she makes is hers.
Again, to each their own, but I feel like that is just buying her love. I mean, she makes money too and gets to just keep hers. Leave a comment below.
Y'all not contributing to her goal. That's kind of how I see it, and this is why, if you notice, a lot of the people in this conversation are black.
And let me know if this is a situation you would sign up for. Many women shame men who say they won't pay all the bills when living with a partner, and older men often use this tactic too. Asking what a woman brings to the table in a relationship is a valid question, yet it is often mocked.
I've been on this earth 55 years, and I have never, ever heard a real say, young lady, what do you bring to the table?
What you bring to the table, like, what we talking about, 2025?
These young boys today, what does she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table?
Steve Harvey is a professional panderer.
You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. Can y'all please stop that goofy shit in 2025? I have never heard a dude with
my fault for cutting him off mid-sentence, but yeah, I mean, I do agree that like people like pointlessly or senselessly asking that question, yeah, like if you're not looking to get to a solution, I can understand it. Like, it's the point. Why are you asking that? You just saw that on TikTok or whatever. Yeah, I get it. But if you're actually trying to gauge whether or not this woman is marriageable material and what qualities does she actually have that will contribute to the success of y'all's family down the line, I think it's an easy answer. Because she could have the same thing of you. You should have an easy answer.
testosterone, ask a woman what you bring to the table. Ever.
Older men often don't understand that in today's world, it's incredibly difficult to live off one income.
Yeah.
The cost of
these old heads not even like thinking straight. A lot of these dudes have already like purchased houses when they were like $80,000. You know, so they're not like understanding the plight of like a lot of millennials. I mean, that's why also y'all are not retiring. The boomers, I mean, y'all they're working.
living has skyrocketed compared to their time, with housing, education, healthcare, and basic necessities being far more expensive. Back then, one income could comfortably support a household. But that's no longer the reality for most people.
Gen X and baby boomers may have a tougher time understanding what young adults are going through today because they enjoyed, until the pandemic recession hit, a solid almost 15 years of uninterrupted economic expansion. Baby boomers, Gen X, they weathered many economic downturns, including major recessions. But I think the big difference is that when they were starting to form their own households and starting to accumulate wealth, housing and higher ed were both more affordable relative to their incomes than they are now.
That is just that. It is mathematically impossible for the majority of women to be with a man who is providing 100% for the family. So these women on social media who are influencing other women to look for a provider are causing a lot of harm to relationships.
And we are getting worse and worse and worse. You have women coming on these social medias, basically giving young girls advice on how to trick. Or if a man ain't willing to come out his pocket when he very first meets you, that means that he don't care enough to get to know you. Okay, so I gotta come out my pocket to get to know you. If the roles were reversed, ma'am, you wouldn't do that. You would tell a man he was crazy. But when men tell y'all that, y'all say we sassy, we dusty, we stingy.
Now, if you desire to be the sole breadwinner in your relationship, be my guest, but just be mindful of the situation you are signing up for. On another note, I created a video about the reality of older women in dating, which I believe is worth checking out. Click the video on your screen and
Ooh, man, oh man. Hey, good vid. Let me know what y'all think of it, man. Is there an epidemic of women asking men to pay? Do you believe that a man should pay 100% of the bills? What do you think a man's role in a relationship is, and what do you think a woman's role is? I personally believe that we should both be contributing towards the success of our family and the next generation. But, I mean, whoever pays the bills and all that, that's preferential, and it's all specific based on your situation. But, let me know what you think.
let us know what you think.